Hi, everyone! Today, we're going to learn 15 common English idioms and expressions about jobs, work, and career success. Native speakers use these expressions all the time when they talk about getting a job, learning new skills, working with other people, or building a successful career. Some of these expressions may sound strange if you translate them word for word, but once you know what they really mean, you'll start noticing them everywhere. So, without further ado, let's get started. Get your foot in the door. We use get your foot in the door when someone gets their first opportunity in a company, industry, or career. It may not be their dream job, but it's a chance to get started. The salary isn't very high, but I'm thinking of accepting the job. Why? Because it'll help me get my foot in the door. It'll give me my first opportunity in this field. It's difficult to get your foot in the door without experience. It's hard to get your first chance when you don't have experience. Climb the career ladder. When you climb the career ladder, you become more successful by getting better positions and more responsibility over time. She started here as an intern. Really? Yeah, and now she's a department manager. She really climbed the career ladder. She gradually moved to higher positions. He wants to climb the career ladder as quickly as possible. He wants to keep getting promoted. Learn the ropes. When you learn the ropes, you learn how a new job or activity works. At first, everything is new, but little by little, you understand what to do. How's your first week going? Pretty well. I'm still learning the ropes. I'm still learning how everything works. Don't expect him to know everything yet. He's still learning the ropes. He's still getting used to the job. Get the hang of it. When you get the hang of something, you begin to understand how to do it properly. It usually takes a little practice. This software looks complicated. It does at first, but you'll get the hang of it. Soon you'll know how to use it. It took me a few days, but I finally got the hang of the new system. I finally learned how to use it. Go the extra mile. If you go the extra mile, you do more than people expect. You make an extra effort to achieve a better result or help someone. Why do customers like working with Emma so much? Because she always goes the extra mile. She always does more than people expect. If you want to impress your boss, don't be afraid to go the extra mile. Make an extra effort instead of doing only the minimum. Pull your weight. If you pull your weight, you do your fair share of the work. In other words, you contribute as much as everyone else. We're all staying late to finish this project. Don't worry, I'll pull my weight. I'll do my part of the work. Everyone has to pull their weight if we want to meet the deadline. Everyone needs to contribute. Be on the same page. When people are on the same page, they have the same understanding or agree about what needs to be done. Before we start, are we all on the same page? Yes, we all know what our responsibilities are. We all understand the plan. I thought we were on the same page, but it turns out we had completely different ideas. I thought we understood each other, but we didn't. Bring something to the table. If you bring something to the table, you contribute something valuable, such as experience, skills, knowledge, or new ideas. Why do you think they hired Sarah? Because she brings a lot of experience to the table. Her experience is valuable to the company. Every member of the team brings something different to the table. Everyone has their own strengths to offer. Think outside the box. When you think outside the box, you think creatively instead of using the usual or obvious solution. We've tried everything. Then maybe it's time to think outside the box. Let's come up with a creative solution. Our manager encourages us to think outside the box. He wants us to find new and original ideas. Raise the bar. If someone or something raises the bar, they set a higher standard, making everyone else work harder or perform better. This new employee is amazing. I know, she's really raised the bar. She set a much higher standard. Every new product they release raises the bar. Each new product sets an even higher level of quality. Call it a day. When you call it a day, you decide to stop working because you've done enough for today. It doesn't mean the work is finished forever, just that it's time to stop for now. We finished everything on today's list. Great! Let's call it a day. Let's stop working for today. I'm getting tired and I can't concentrate anymore. I'm going to call it a day. I'm done working for today. Back to square one. If you're back to square one, you have to start again because your first plan didn't work. The client rejected our proposal. Well, I guess we're back to square one. We have to start over from the beginning. We thought we'd fix the problem, but it came back. Now we're back to square one. We have to begin again. Burnout. If you burn out, you become physically and mentally exhausted, because you've worked too hard or been under too much stress for too long. Why did Mark take a month off? He burned out after working 12-hour days for months. He became completely exhausted. Don't work every weekend. You'll burn out sooner or later. You'll become exhausted if you never take a break. Make a name for yourself. When you make a name for yourself, you become well known and respected because of your work or achievements. She made a name for herself as one of the best lawyers in the city. She became well known and respected. It takes time to make a name for yourself in any profession. It takes time to build a good reputation. Land a job. If you land a job, you successfully get a job, especially after looking or applying for one. Did Jake ever find a new job? Yes, he finally landed a job at a software company. He successfully got the job. After dozens of interviews, she finally landed her dream job. She finally got the job she really wanted. And that's it! Now you know 15 common English idioms and expressions about jobs and careers that native speakers use every day. Try using one or two of them this week, and they'll soon become a natural part of your English. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.